Absolutely, and there's so many parallels between us and them. I know we don't want to get too far afield, but if you think about the time when every patrician served in the Roman army, and then you go to the time where it was okay to pay a mercenary to serve in your place, and you can almost start to mark the decline of the empire then. Well, I really honestly believe that if the sons of congressmen and daughters of congressmen and senators were serving in Iraq in large numbers, you wouldn't have the concern we have and the fear we have about causing casualties and those kind of things. Now, I'm not saying we shouldn't have those concerns, but what you would see, I think, if we went to war is an utterly ruthless prosecution of a war, which if you're going to go to war is what you should do.
Maybe
or otherwise
that's why
stay out.
World War II has attracted so much. You know, World War I is the one, in many ways, I am the most uncomfortable with. I'm actually a Vietnam War widow, so it's a place I seldom will go because it was too painful for me. I mean, I was married at 20 at Stanford, and I was a widow before I was 22, which didn't. So that's not a war I'm happy with.
Yeah.
But World War I, you know, to me was the most totally. It was all about face and nothing about anything else. World War II is sort of easier for most people to deal with because the antagonists were real and the things that you were fighting against, you know, were clearer than they can be in others. I think that's why there's been such an enormous amount of, you know, literature written, and also aspects of it that in the conflict were not too visible that as time has passed, records come available, historical perspective clarifies, you know.
I think what comes out is something John le Carré was always writing about the Cold War. I think his lesson always was what really separates us from them, you know, us and the Russians, how much worse than us are they really? And we go back and we cast the Germans or the Japanese in this terrible, brutal, animalistic light. But when you really look at the things that were done and the things we did, how low were we willing to go to fight that we did most things, too. I mean, everybody, I don't want to say too many things without documenting everything, but things like machine gunning prisoners or, you know, things like that, it happens in every army.
It's very hard to have a high standard in war, and also, you know, I think civilians have gotten so much more involved now. I mean, war used to be much more. I mean, if you think about Waterloo, there weren't a whole lot of civilians on the field when Wellington and Napoleon finally faced off, but it doesn't work that way anymore. I think that was what was so hard about Vietnam and Korea.
The weird thing is, like, talking about this, we've really come back around. If you ask me what it is I do, we've really come back around to it. All I'm really doing in every single book is pointing out that there is no protagonist and antagonist. You know, the secret of a great thriller is that every antagonist thinks he's the hero. That the antagonist doesn't think he's the evil guy. He thinks he's doing the right thing. Or like most of us, when we do something bad, we're rationalizing to ourselves why we're doing it. Everybody thinks they're doing the right thing, and yet we can do terrible things in the name of doing the right thing. So what separates good and evil? You know, people like John D. MacDonald, you know, knew that the line between good and evil right through the middle of the human heart, and everybody is split, everybody has that shadow side, and that's what I'm writing about. I don't care if I'm writing about World War II or sexual abuse or religious philosophy or whatever I'm writing about. It's all the same book.
It is, but, and added to that, I think you have to put people in a pressure cooker to have this stuff come out, because, I mean, most people can be okay, not your genuine psychopaths or whatever, but in your, you know, if things aren't tough, most people kind of have devised a way of getting along.
Well, you're right. That's when you find out who people are, and that's why, that's my argument with the series novel. So often in a series situation with books, you have something completely divorced from reality, which is one person repeatedly being put into this life-altering pressure cooker again and again and again, year after year. When in real life, even the people who have those kinds of jobs, cops, detectives, very few times do they truly get into that watershed, life-altering pressure cooker type of moment or situation. One life usually has 2 or 3 of those, and that's it. 4 or 5 maybe.
It's good that you are able to write those things that you believe in, and that is undoubtedly why you write the kind of books you do.
Well, I'm going to go the next book. I'm going to return to Penn Cage, which I've written 2 books with him, and I wasn't going to write another until something came to me I thought was as good as A Quiet Game. And the funny thing, my dad has reached 75 against all expectations, really, for many years. And this is going to be his book, Tom Cage and Penn Cage, and it's going to deal with two things: race and euthanasia, murder, a lot of things. But I think it could even be better than The Quiet Game. It's just, will I have enough time to do it justice, as you've said?
You know, it's always so exciting to talk to you. I can hardly wait to see what you're going to get up to, but unfortunately our time has run out to talk about what we could today. Now, I told you when we started that you would find that this rocketed by.
It seems like 10 minutes.
Exactly,
really.
And thank you for making it appear that way.
Thank
I really
you,
appreciate
Barbara.
it, and I certainly thank all of you for coming and joining us today.